Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to BTL Season 18, Week 9, Day 2. This is the final week of our regular season. Tonight we have Maria's Dungeon versus Knights of Ishtar. Our host is Shivam, and I'm Jordan in the booth here by Akazai. Hello, welcome.
Hello, thank you. Thank you for having me again, once again. And yeah, let's see if we can have some good bangers on our hands like the last time.
Yeah, this will be super interesting. I think you got a chance to see Maria's Dungeon last time you played, and I think you probably saw a
Absolutely.
good performance from Anai and Expo, that kind of two-headed monster over there.
Absolutely.
Maria's Dungeon, both of those players very mechanically gifted and able to give you a show at any
Exactly.
time, especially sometimes one of them pops off and the other one kind of chills, and then the other one pops off, the other one kind of chills. So we'll see what happens here. They are picking up Smolder. So a little bit of a scaling pick here from Maria's Dungeon with the B1 pick. Also, in terms of seeding, I've been stressing this that every single game matters for seeding right now. We are in, of course, this is week 9, so these are be the final games of the regular season. We're going to be in the gauntlet next weekend, and we still don't know who our number one seed is going to be. Right now, Glacier Golems are 6-2, Cat Cowboys are 6-2, and Maria's Dungeon in this match right here are all 6-2. So our top three seeds are tied at 6-2. So Maria's Dungeon really needs this win if they want a chance to get that
Mhm.
first seed. Also, if they want to avoid the gauntlet. So how it works here, for those that may be new, are we have the top three seeds automatically advance to the best of 5 semifinals round, right?
Okay.
And then the seeds after that, seeds 4 through 10, are all put into a last chance kind of gauntlet, which are best of 3 series that'll start next weekend. And it starts off with 10 versus 9, and the winner of that faces 8, winner of that faces 7, and it just goes so on and so forth until we get all the way up to the 4th seed, who will be sitting at the end of the gauntlet, and they'll be playing the winner of the gauntlet up to that point, you know?
Mhm.
And whoever ends up winning the gauntlet overall will be the 4th team that is able to advance to semifinals. So the first 3 teams get a bye, so they'll be off next week, and then the seeds 4 through 10 will all have to go into the gauntlet. So you would really prefer, depending on some teams. I mean, this is kind of rest versus rust. Some teams do prefer it. Some teams actually like to play the gauntlet so that they can get those games in and make sure that they're staying on top of it. And then a lot of teams would just prefer to just have a weekend off, right?
Mhm.
So for Maria's Dungeon, if they want to secure having a weekend off, they're going to have to win this game. If they win this game, I think they are top 3 secured for sure, because they'll be at 7 wins, and no team outside of the top 3 can get to 7 wins. So huge game. And the Knights of Ishtar, they're currently in 7th place. They're 3-5, so they're going to be in the gauntlet no matter what. But they can play spoiler here. If Maria's Dungeon takes a loss here, then they will likely fall into the gauntlet depending on what happens with DPS and JPJ. This is why I'm looking at the standings here. It's so crazy. It's so close because there were 2 teams that are 5-3, which if Maria's Dungeon loses this, they then have to deal with DPS and JPJ nipping at their heels.
Mhm.
Sorry, that was just a big splurge about rankings and the standings, but I feel like for a lot of teams, this ends up being very significant at this part of the year.
In my opinion, it was needed and it was necessary. It's fine. One quick thing that I would like to touch on is the draft. I don't have much experience with these people, and I've watched them cook before. So a thing that I noticed is that they opened up B1 with a smolder pick, a smolder that can be flexed basically mid AD carry. Sometimes in
Yeah,
like very specific niche
top,
situations, you can go
right?
top lane. Exactly. Thank you.
Right.
And also they had the Pantheon. I didn't like the Pantheon pick because there was a Milio, there's also a Varus, and they could have more answers to that. But again, it could be flexed to support in jungle and even top lane.
Yeah, very true.
So we've seen Maria's Dungeon before pull off some
Very
crazy
flexible, right?
unexpected exactly with the Varus mid lane before from Enai, and we've
Yeah.
seen him play also the Smolder, I believe, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken. So yeah, we've
What is
seen this
going on?
guy play
We have champion
champions that are
elements
not
both for
yeah,
Expo and Anai.
exactly Expo and like Ina. You would expect that X champion is going mid and Y champion is going bot lane, but Expo and Ina are gonna be like, nope. You got
Yeah,
rickrolled
yeah,
and it's not happening. So yeah,
yeah.
I want to see what happens, what they have under their belts right now from when it comes to draft. I really love the answers from Knights of Ishtar so far. You have the Varus, which is a really good blind pick. Okay,
Nefiri. Okay.
Nafir. Well, that
I'm
is
assuming this is
a
Nefiri jungle. I
jungle
guess I guess Nefiri could also play mid potentially, but I
mid
think
lane,
Nefiri is most played in the jungle at the moment. So this will
jungle
be
mid.
interesting. I haven't
Mhm.
loved Nefiri most of the times I've seen them. They haven't been that great of a champion. At least whenever I guess I'm tunneling to whenever we had a BTL LFA team that our jungler
Mhm.
clicked Nefiri multiple times in semifinals, and it just never seemed to do that well for us. But can be a very annoying champion. can
It
be a
is
champion
a
that has
really
good
strong
ganks.
champion.
It is like a AD potential AD assassin, could do like a lot of damage, and I think
And
has
it could
decent clear.
also
We'll
work
see.
as a
Roberto's a good
bruiser-ish champion.
jungler. I believe in
Yeah.
Roberto's jungling skills. I've seen Roberto in many years of BTL. Has always been a very solid jungler. So we'll see what happens here. Indefiance versus Roberto is a classic matchup. There, both of them have been junglers of BTL for years. So
Oh,
we'll see what
the
happens here.
B5 Akali classic. Listen, here's the thing.
Oh,
When you
whoa.
pick something like the Neferi, Neferi is also a triple flex. He can go jungle, mid, and top lane. This champion is one of the few champions that can just go conquer and play pure Shojin with Eclipse and deal a lot of damage, or can just play straight up lethality, deal a lot of damage. So
Mhm.
again, I mean, no disrespect by this, but in the right hands with a decent player, who knows? Ooh, the Galley. Okay. I'm not
Gallia.
fanboying for anyone, but Knights of Ishtar with the draft, chef kiss. Like, of course, Mary's Dungeons are
Gallia,
coming in strong.
good answer into Akali, I think.
Exactly. It's not just the Galio, it's everything. Everything they have. Yes, you do have the Smolder with the scaling. You have the Ornn with the setup. You have a Pantheon Akali, which is a super hard side lane to play against, with the threat that a Pantheon globally can offer, and Akali in the side lane, especially if she's fed. But again, if you look on the other side, if the team is executed well, if the Varus is in position with the milieu, you can never engage on them unless they make a big mistake. But again, the hero's entrance is there to help and interrupt. So I love the drafts from both teams here, and I'm super excited to see how the execution is going to go down. So I want, first of all, before we jump into the game, I want your opinion on who's going where.
I think for Maria's Dungeon is going to be, Ornn top, Pantheon jungle, Akali mid, Smolder and Braum in the bot lane. I think that one's probably not too terribly surprising. On the side of Knights of Ishtar, I think we're going to see probably Gnar in the top lane, Fury jungle, Galio mid, and then Varus Emilio. Not a little bit too crazy. If it ends up being something outside of that, I'll be pretty surprised. I feel like it's pretty normal draft here so far. I think, yeah, I think. I mean, if they swap something, then they got me. They got me.
Yeah,
if it ends up being like Pantheon, I know.
No. This is now. It's
Akali. I don't see how this ends up being something different than what we expect here.
It's not. In my opinion, it's not. The only way that you can swap things is sending Ornn mid lane and sending the Akali top lane, but it makes no sense. So probably
there's no
set in stone who's where. It all falls to play to who executes what exactly. If people execute their team fighting compositions, their side lane compositions well, they take the win. And as you said, everyone is like 6-2 right now, so everyone is on equal footings when it comes to points. And I believe when it comes to gameplay and performance,
Maria's Dungeon really needs to win this game. I think Knights of Ishtar don't care as much, except for, let's see, can they move up? Knights of Ishtar are 3-5. If they win, they'll be 4-5. They could potentially take over the Mingos, who have 4 wins and the Mingos lose. Then they could beat, like, it's the difference between being 7th or 6th. Like, they're guaranteed to be in the gauntlet. 7th or 6th may not be too much of a difference for them. Did they win against Mingos? I guess that would be the question. I'd be surprised. No, they lost against Mingos. Okay, so I don't think they can actually change their position. I think they're kind of stuck in 7th place. Maybe Pat and the Not Pats could potentially overtake them, which is the team that they're currently. So they could drop down to the 8th seed, which would be the difference between playing on Friday or Saturday. So it just doesn't seem as impactful for Knights of Ishtar. But Maria's Dungeon, on the other hand, needs to win this. So again, they Knights of Ishtar could play spoiler to deny the #1 overall seed from Maria's Dungeon.
Well, the only way to know is to watch and see for ourselves. So let's see. Let's hope we have games on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. And
and we're gonna see that the roles so far are exactly what we expect. Yeah, there's nothing too terribly crazy here. Solid drafts on both sides. I will say it seems like we did kind of see this. I think it was like a really good draft last week where we saw one team play like draft pretty heavy dive and the other team just kind of perfectly drafted disengage. And I feel like we may be seeing a similar thing here. Milio's super good disengage, Gnar could be good disengage, and Gallo could be good disengage, especially into the likes of a Panther and a Kali that kind of want to get to the back line. They wanted to make sure the Varus doesn't go too crazy, shut down the Varus, but potentially the Varus may have some assistance to be able to kind of kite that out. Like if the Gnar is able to help and if the Gallo is able to help, then if Varus gets ahead, then you may have a little bit of a struggle over time here. But we need to
Yeah.
see Varus get ahead, and because of course Smolder ends up scaling ridiculously, so Smolder can't be allowed to go too crazy either. But Smolder doesn't have. I mean, Smolder has a very good front line too, actually, with Ornn and Braum. So they may be actually doing similar things here. But
Mhm.
they have a way to get to the Smolder? We'll see. I think these ADCs could potentially be the on both sides. It feels like the ADCs are going to be the crux of their comp because there's not a lot of damage outside of that unless the Kali goes crazy. But I don't expect the Kali to go crazy against a Galio, and I don't expect Ornn or Nard to go very crazy either direction. So I'm expecting the ADCs to be the one that kind of swings the game. Like we'll pay attention to that matchup. Frostbite versus Expo. Those are two ADCs players that have also have years of BTL experience. Both of them have had a huge carry job game. So we'll see what happens here as we load into game number 1 between Maria's Dungeon and Knights of Ishtar. As we get into the spectator lane, we're going to hit you guys with that 1-minute ad break so that we could turn out the pre-roll ads for those that may be joining us later, and we will catch you guys whenever we load into the game. And here we are into game number 1 between Maria's Dungeon and Knights of Ishtar. Looks like we're going to have a stack of 5 for Maria's Dungeon as they look across the river at Roberto. We'll see what happens here.
Oh, this is a really dangerous stack with the Braum, with the Pantheon,
Yeah,
and even a lethal Tempest Molder. One mistake here could cost your life and a really
yeah,
hard, rough early game. But we can see
yeah.
the 5 respect. Oh, they're moving
Oh,
in deep. He
uh-oh.
doesn't see them. But he
Yep.
spots them last
Yeah.
second. They don't
I was
even take
about
the
to
word.
say if an experienced team like Knights of Ishtar, who is a
Mhm,
championship team, they've been in BTL for years. They played probably like 5 or 6 seasons in BTL. If they
mhm.
fell for that, going up against a Pantheon Braum, I'd be so disappointed.
What do you
Because
mean?
it's
Like,
like
come on.
no, they should know. No, if you're loading into a game, if you're an experienced competitive team, you're having those conversations, right? Like, hey,
Yeah,
what are we doing level 1? What should we avoid
yeah.
level 1? Do we have a chance of
Understandable.
fighting
Yeah,
level 1?
yeah.
They should have communicated, hey, there is no way in the world we try to fight level 1. Like we're gonna do a
Understandable.
5 point start. If you see them, run away. Do not engage. Like
Understandable.
that
Exactly.
that should have been like number one, there's no way they're going to fall for that. Like, no, we're
Mhm.
not fighting those people. Are you kidding me?
Understandable. I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. But there was like one thing that I wanted to talk about real quick. Is
Mhm.
you were mentioning that this game is basically going to be a showdown between Expo and Frostbite. Well, it is going
Mhm.
to be that, but not just in terms of damage. Because if you look at the teams, especially Knights of Ishtar, they don't have the direct engage. Yes, they do have the Galio, but there's the Braum, there's the Pantheon. Yes, they do have the Nar, but again, it's situational. It's not
Mhm.
an Orn Call of the Forge God. It's not a Leona. It's not something that can easily just go in.
True.
So it's all about the Chains of Corruption from the Varus and the follow
Mhm.
up from whatever follows. Of course, the setup from the Nar in a perfect world. So it is not going to be easy to execute your engaged if you're a player on Knights of Ishtar. However, you
Mhm.
are super good at soaking damage and then returning fire. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
harder to do it. So let's see how they actually do it, and if they have this plan in mind, or was it just you know a misstep?
Happenstance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When it comes to
Ooh,
drafting,
Death
so
by the video
okay with
game
the
in
gang.
Defiance.
It finds there W.
It's going to be
It doesn't
okay.
find anything.
Top laners. Ooh,
Okay.
McCullough doing quite a bit of damage here in the top lane.
Uh huh.
Oh, in Defiance. Valperto finding in Defiance. Could be in trouble. There's a flash of the wall by Death video game. And there's a knockup on Defiance. Defiance gonna go down. It's gonna be first blood. Going over to Galio. Okay, and Knights of Istar picking up the first blood here in Defiance. Finding himself in some trouble there in the mid lane.
Absolutely what we're used for, what we're used to from the BDO community and the gameplay and everything. These players, regardless of their level, they are aggressive, ravenous, and blood hungry for fights
Mm-hmm.
and early game aggression. And this is something that you should and you could
Ooh.
love about them.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
my goodness.
Roberto getting so that's gonna be an early kill over to Galio. Galio picks up some early money and early money over for Roberto. I feel like I said, I haven't seen like a great Nefiri game yet in the
Mhm.
jungle, so I'm still kind of learning that champion. But I feel like if she gets ahead early game, it feels like maybe she's like has an 80 assassin type sort of vibe to her kit, and I feel like that typically means if they get ahead early game, they're going to be a monster. So
Yep.
looking to see what happens here as the Nefiri has some early gold and early jungle lead as well ahead of Ben Defiance.
Well, again, as we already spoke, Nafiri is not just she's a jack of all trades if you think about it. She can engage and like use some CDs with the invisibility that she has. It's not invisibility. What is it called? Uh, the spell that like makes her
Oh
go.
yeah.
Okay, we have another gang from the bot side.
Well, we're gonna see it right now. We're not gonna get a chance to. I was gonna click on her, figure it out. The invulnerable one. I
Yeah,
don't know
exactly.
Nefiri's
Thank you.
abilities.
Exactly. This one.
It's
Um,
the call of the pack in the Fury's W. We're
yeah,
gonna see an engage here
all of
from
the pack.
Galio, doing a lot of damage to Akali here, but Pantheon is here, and we're gonna look up
There
the
is
top lane. The
below.
top laners hit each other, and Pantheon is here. Diffabit is gonna get slowed by the Q there. It's gonna be fine. And Nefiri is on the way to the camp, and Pantheon is there as well. Nefiri is correct that Pantheon may be looking for it. There was some on the way pings, and do we see Pantheon? Oh, we're gonna see an engage onto the Kali Death by video game, doing a lot of damage to a 9. That's gonna get real low, and there is the flash away. I was like, I think Galio has passive up for the big punch. It's gonna force the flash out of Akali.
A lot of action, a lot of aggression coming in from the mid lane, and absolutely something to be expected from a Galio, especially when you start with a lead and go to build, more tanky. For people who don't know,
Yeah,
a while ago when Galio was changed in his last rework, he was adjusted for the more MR you have and the more resistances, the more damage you do, especially in Magic Resist.
yeah,
That's why he's a really, really solid answer when it comes to a champion like Akali, a champion that likes to
yep.
try and bully you early on. So yeah,
Yep,
this
tries
is
to
not
bully, tries to
happening.
do burst, and if it's
Mhm,
Galio into
mhm.
Akali's fantastic here for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Emilio's under. No, he's not under anything actually. The guy just, messy, messy, messy out of danger. This guy. Whenever this character queues, the only thing that pops into my hand is like messy, 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 messy. I just can't help it. I'm not even kidding. But yeah, look at the CS difference in top lane. Okay, and another engage, even though his half HP, a lot of what is this? This is
We're
going
gonna get
up.
an engage here from Tygoon.
The
Tygoon is
flash.
gonna be able to flash it, and there is the flash as well for Makolo to get out of there.
Oh. These players are like, you know what? Yes, we're tanks, but doesn't mean we have hands. We have hands, and we can show
Yeah,
them.
one
Let's
hundred
go.
percent.
Let's
Yeah, they've
show
actually
some
been
hands.
fighting up in that top lane.
Yeah,
They have been
I
going
love it.
back and forth so far. Advantage Tycoon, as Tycoon
Mhm,
has about a 17 gold CS lead here, so a little bit over 2 waves, and is able to crash that wave. Is going to be able to recall, and they're going to see Knights of Ishtar start up the Ocean Dragon.
mhm. Absolute control on the first dragon, I guess. Knights of Isar just gonna be securing this first dragon as they have the prio in mid lane and they have the also prio in bot lane. An easy first dragon goes to Knights of Ishar. Hmm. Ornn is going for the Thimble Winter build, I guess. And I mean, understandable, but in is it the build that you want to be running this game? I'm
I
I'm not sure.
have no idea. Is that a thing that
Uh,
Horn rushes?
yeah, I mean, you can. You have
Wouldn't
a lot of
expect
PC,
it. Yeah.
but like, I don't know. You're the pro player, not me.
Wait, Endernika, why did you? Why should I especially give a shout out to Higgs and you for the In Defiance? Wait, I missed that. I just read that. I read it before. I like read it and I forgot, and it was like during break time, so I couldn't respond to it then. But now I'm just like, wait, why did I miss something? Why am I? Besides you guys just being awesome, I guess. But like, wait, was there a specific reason I was giving you a shout out?
Oh, this is a really, really ballsy play when it comes to the Maria's dungeon side. We can
And they
see
are gonna
now
get one at least.
the engage coming in from the galley. Is it
Ooh,
going to be
here's a
enough
taunt
to target
onto Duke.
down
Griffiths
the
is gonna get very
Kali?
low.
No casualties. They actually get one and go away. Believe it or not, this is a win
Yeah,
for Maria's dungeon
yeah.
because they usually couldn't. This is illegal. The fact that they were able to go there, snatch one, and go out with no casualties, but the Akali ulti, dude, we'll take this any time of the day.
Yep. Yep. They were able to snatch one in a position where they were down in the early
Mhm.
game, so able to take away one of those grubs to prevent them from getting the full three. Not bad.
Absolutely beautiful.
We're at Indy's house. Oh, you guys are visiting Indy. Okay. How would I know that? That's cool, but that means that you're in the inferior city
Who's Indy?
instead of being in Dallas. Indy in Defiance, the
Oh,
Pantheon.
oh yeah. I know. Of course, I know in the fights. Yeah. Okay. So they're cheering for their homie. I love the vibes. I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
They come through consistently. I
I
will
love
say
that.
consistently. We see them in the chat whenever Indy is playing. I always appreciate the fans and the homies that come through consistently and cheer for their boy. I love that. I love when I see that. We have a few
Indy,
people that have consistent cult followings, and that we see them in the chat.
mhm. Indy doesn't have
And
fans. It's
Defiance
a
is one of those.
family. This is the how I saw it. I'm sorry. This
In
is how I saw it.
Defiance
I'm sorry.
by himself, just being in the game accounts for like 4 viewers.
I mean, it's fair. It's fair
Of
enough.
our of our 15 right now, you guys are like 25% of the chat just because In Defiance is in the game. I've come to
Oh,
scout, hunt the prey,
70.
of course. We'd love to see
Sure.
whenever the I don't know. Do you want me to say who Hunt the Prey is? Because I don't think anybody knows who Hunt the Prey is. Because I know, but like
Okay.
I don't know if I'm going to out you.
Here's the thing: you usually don't see the Akali getting bullied in her own lane. It's a mid lane
Yeah.
kingdom type of champion, but like the from now on, the lead from mid lane, especially when it translates to side lane, is gonna keep growing bigger and bigger. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to like point fingers, but especially when you go something like the Rocket Pit, oh, another engage, but it's not gonna go wide.
Mhm.
Especially when you see something like the Rocket Belt into something like the Galio, you don't have enough damage or DPS to go through his HP bar. So this
Yeah.
only means that you're just going to be existing with a champion that needs a lot of gold to accelerate and be able to,
Correct. Yeah.
yeah. So this is
Akali's
now,
one of those
yeah,
iffy. It's one of those iffy picks. Assassins are kind of always like this in competitive. It feels like assassins aren't as consistently good in comp as they may be in solo queue, where you can kind of just do solo queue things and take advantage of people's mistakes. I feel like, and if assassin gets ahead, typically on my teams, if I'm playing competitive, I never want to see my mid laner pick an assassin because I feel like it's so hit or miss, feast or famine. I don't like the fact that they kind of need to get ahead to be super useful, and if they're not ahead, they're not going to be nearly as useful in team fights because they're just not doing the damage.
understandable. But here's where you kind of miss the point. Akali, especially Akali, but that's why you don't see Zed, you don't see much talent, you don't
Yeah,
see
that's fair.
like you don't see Kiana because these champions are exactly what he described. But Akali has another edge that no one has. Aside from it's super safe yet strong early game, this champion is super versatile when it comes to what she can build. The champion can
That's
side
fair.
lane, has decent wave clear, and builds
That's fair.
whatever she wants. She can build into squishy. Go okay with chains of corruption, but barely misses Expo.
Not going to hit.
See, that's what I was talking about. You don't have direct engage. You need to rely on the chains of corruptions to land or the Nar flash engage onto
Yep.
multiple people to be able to another Messi. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna be spamming the living hell out of this because this is the only way I see it. Comment in the chat if you see it other way because I need help. I
Galio
need
just
serious
going to
help.
beat up on Akali. Akali's going to be okay, though.
Yeah.
Galio shouldn't be killing Akali too often. It's just, unfortunately, Akali's not going to be killing Galio too often. And in a lot of team fights, Galio is going to provide more
Oh,
utility.
he has the Hallowed
Oh,
Radiance. Don't you
jeez.
forget.
If we're going to
A lot of
try
damage.
going for it, and they're able to secure it. And here is the engage. There is the Ornhorn. The teleport's going to come in. There's the ultimate from Trick of the Wing, and there's the ultimate from Gala going to knock up a few. However, Maria's Dungeon are still in this fight. Gala is going to hit a massive tauntaun to 3, and Anai is going for the back line, but Anai is not going to be able to kill anybody. The video game is going to go in, going to get really low. A lot of really low health bars. McCullough potentially going down. Tycoon has made it to the fight, and McCullough is going to go down to Frostbite. And here comes the feats of warfare for Preto able to take down in Defiance. That's going to be 3-0 in favor of, well, the overall match score, I should say. Game score, the kill score is going to be 3-0 in favor of Knights of Istar. They picked up 2 kills in that fight and the Dragon.
You love to see it. You love to see the aggression that pays off. Yet it's even though it's calculated aggression, even though people are there participating and paying their fair share of the game, but someone has to be the victor and the other will just not. It's just how things go, And again, like the small differences make a lot of difference when it comes to team fight. The fact that the Galio is super ahead in mid lane, the Hallowed Radiance completed, the ability to bully the Akali out of the fight. When the Akali went into on the back line, even though she has 4.4k gold, she wasn't able to do any of that because she's basically half HP. That's what you
Yeah.
have from solo lane or solo lane's impact even before team fights. So yeah, unless
Yep, very true.
I believe in Inai. I personally, as a mid laner, I personally believe in Inai. But unless this guy has another Ganko top lane, is it gonna be enough?
Ooh, that's going to be a lot of
They
damage
call
coming
him
out
a
of
lot of
Perpetual here.
okay.
Makolo's going to get low. Here it
That
is,
flash.
some more CC. There
Nara
is the
engaged.
ultimate from Tygoon. Nara is going to be taking the tower now. Get a lot of damage
gonna
in
be more than enough.
And Defiance is going to be taking some more damage. And here comes the Fury.
Oh!
The Fury is going to go out. And Defiance may live. And Defiance is going to live up in the top lane. But they were able to kill McCullough underneath the tower and get out with their lives. And now 4-0 in favor of Knights of Istar. Nefiri 1-0-3 for Puerto with 100% KP so far.
Playing on a knife's edge there in Defiance. I'm 100% sure that the house of in Defiance was on fire in that play. The engage coming in from the Gallivant is just gonna woof away from the dragon. Wait, is this intended? Is this a pun? Woof away from a dragon? No, I don't think so. Oh, another engage coming in. A lot of damage from the Galley, even though he's building.
Oh my God!
Is it gonna be enough? It's not. One slam, two slams. Does he have it?
Oh, but here it comes.
Oh,
and Defiance is here. Defiance is here. Pantheon here. Dead by Video Game potentially in trouble. Defiance is going to hit the stun. Dead by Video Game is going to try to hit the taunt. It's not going to be enough. It's going to be in between. Dead by Video Game is going to try to Justice Punch. It's definitely going to go down to Defiance. It's a shutdown going over to Defiance. Pantheon all over the map. How many stacks Smolder has?
Is understandable. Yeah, if we can check the Smolder stacks, that would be great.
Let's go ahead
I guess it's around 100-ish.
140.
Yeah,
I see 141 stacks for Expo right now.
Yeah, 141. Yeah. Well, I mean, Ito, the Pantheon presence is something that should be there. But what my small brain is not, understanding is why is the Magic Resist building tank slamming my dragon, please? Right games, explanations. Can someone explain? No. See, that's the point. Why? But yeah, you live to see it.
Why is my Magic Game Mistake doing what? Smashing the dragon?
Yeah. What is the magic? Why is the Magic Colossus building MR yet smashing my dragon? This guy's building.
Yeah, Galileo things. Yeah, that's fair.
Exactly. Oh, you had a bit of lag there. You didn't catch it the first time, but yeah, I forgive you.
Smolder is chilling. Smolder is farming very well. On pace at 15 minutes to get to that 225 stacks pretty easy. And we see Expo here farming some more. They're like, yeah, we're trying to get them stacks. Now at 160 at 16 minutes. Anai in a rough spot potentially is going to go over the wall.
Oh, they engage. It goes in. That's
okay. Not going to pursue further. Anai's going to be okay here.
Oh,
and Anai actually has a CS advantage in mid lane. By the way, Akali here at 160 farm at 17 minutes.
See,
both Akali and Expo are farming well.
Yeah.
So besides their being down 4-1, also relatively low kill game here, 1-4. But I'm sure things are going to explode at some point as we have. And I think if you're Marines Dungeon, like, you're fine. We're fine with this. We do want to scale. We have a Smolder.
Tower top lane is almost going to fall. Engage coming in from Makolo. Is it going to be enough? Yeah. Tiger is trying to fight back. The Meganar is far away.
Oh, Everton jumped to the other side. Meganar is far away, and I think if you're Makolo, you would prefer he was Meganar. You don't want to deal with Mininar as a tank, and Tygoon's going to pick up the solo bolo up in the top lane, as well as the tower. And we're going to get the Rift Herald use mid lane. That's probably mid-lane tower going down as well. And there's going to be two towers picked up here by Knights of Istar, giving them a 3k gold lead. And Defiance going to smite the Herald in the mid lane.
The Galio doing Galio things, as one of the champions code, he goes and says, I'm a big guy with big needs. So I can see that, my friend. I can see that. Another dragon being started right now from Knights of Ishtar. I guess these players, even though from especially what you said, the Akali
both and these ADCs are farming so heavy.
Exactly. Inai and Expo, aside from Frostbite, Inai and Expo, these players know how to scale. They know how to get their champions to the point where they can actually be what they want to be. Okay, but yet, aside from that, the fact that the what is it called? I'm sorry, the Chains of Corruption, the Galleon, the Hero's Entrance, all of these tools combined, it's just a ticket for free objectives whenever, before the Smolder gets to his Spear of Trojan, to his execution, before the Akali gets to the level 13 and the 2 items power spike, it's basically a free ticket to any objective that you rotate on. So unless Maria's Dungeon has a, I don't know, a secret ticket to do something, I think this is going to be a slow but sure death for Maria's Dungeon in this game. I love to see it.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I also love to be proven wrong.
For me right now, I think Knights of Istar are ahead here, but I don't think they're far enough ahead yet to really be secure in this victory. They do, if they get this soul, that could probably be one step closer. They do have all three of the dragons so far. They do have the turrets advantage as well. And so they definitely have a solid advantage here at 3k. But I think, with the Smolder stacking very well and farming so well, both of these ADCs are farming incredibly well. Then, I mean, I think you do have a little bit of a concern here. Ends up big late game Frostbite versus on Varus versus late game Expo on Smolder. I think Smolder is just really hard to outscale. I think he's pretty sure he's been nerfed, not as crazy as he used to be, but still, I mean, we'll see what Varus does in late game. Varus is also going to be incredible late game.
Are they trying to do something, pull off something? The Atakan, the mini Elder. The new season.
And Voperto is here lying in wait. with the ultimate, maybe if they're able to get a it's trying to avoid the vision. It looks like, yeah. And I don't think they know that
He's
Verperto is here. I
successful
think is
though.
that
They
the
don't.
potion? Okay,
Yeah, they
Verperto
don't see him.
is
They don't see him.
able to get into the bush here. So this is like
Hmm.
this right here. This is experienced veteran jungler right here. Stayed
Yeah.
all the way back, waited for his team, communicated with his team to clear out the vision, and is slowly kind of working the way up, trying to stay out of
Hmm.
vision.
Hmm.
And they know that they also have vision here. They're going to start up the Otacon. Otacon's going to get started up here. So 3v3 in the bot lane, but Galio is within ulti range. So
Yeah, and
if
two
they
DPs
decide
from
to
top
engage
laners are
on
on.
them, so this could end up being a 5v5. Galio is here, and there's a teleport coming in from the Gnar. Will the Gnar get interrupted? The Gnar is on the way, and they are drawing the Otacon down into the bottom lane. Otacon is actually resetting right now. Otacon is all the way back up at full health, and Voprento and Tickle Wing are incredibly low. I don't think that went the way Knights of Ishtar wanted that to go. They're going to have to be forced to recall. Chicken Wing won't be here. And Makolo continues to push top, and Maria's Dungeon now potentially taking the Otacon. And yeah,
Remember when
they're
I
on
told
it.
you they need a magic thingy to happen? I guess it's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if I just jinxed him or not.
And
but,
okay,
like,
they're going to be backing off on the Otacon. Everyone's backing. Oh, Otacon's real scary. And meanwhile, Makolo just takes the top lane tower as both of these teams keep messing with Otacon, and he keeps messing them up. Oh, wait.
okay, I'm not gonna talk about Athlon again. I just jinxed these people.
Expo has it. Wait a second. What? 21 minutes, 225 stacks for Expo, and the Smolder is online. The execute's online.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was just gonna
Pre
mention
20,
that. And
pre 22 minutes. I just saw it pop up on Frostbite. I was like, wait a second.
it was
Wait a
21
second.
minutes.
It is
21
already
minutes.
here. Yeah,
Yeah,
21
look at the guy's
minutes.
movement. Look at the guy wiggling. This
Stacks.
guy. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
this
No way.
Smolder is at it has its
Cinematic,
225.
to say the
That's
least.
crazy.
Mhm.
That was a super fast. Just allowed to farm it out there. And now I think they are happy to engage these fights now. And there is Otacon. I think if you're a Knights of Istar, you are weary of this Smolder that is now very much so online. And Tygoon could be in a lot of trouble here. Tygoon isn't in a lot of trouble here. It's going to be forced to flash. Cannot. Oh, is going to be burning. Teleports are coming in. Here comes two teleport from Maria's Dungeon. There's one teleport coming in late. It's going to be Makolo. Makolo's going to get ulted into the wall. Merely go down. But here is Expo. Death by Video is going to get real low. And there goes the first kill. Going to go over to Roberto. And here's Smolder picks up one kill as well. As Death by Video, as Chick of the Wing goes down. And some low health bars. And Expo's flashing in. And there is the burn. And there's another one. Goes down to Expo. Expo gets the shutdown on Gnar. And Expo is full HP. This is something that they're going to have to worry about. They're going to go into the town. There's going to be a triple kill going over to the Smolder. And here comes Maria's Dungeon. Now they have evened up the goalie. They're going to take the Otacon, and there's a dragon spawning right next to it. Smolder Gaming.
Well, here you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Elder, says Maria.
Yeah, the early execution from Expo, alongside with the Atakan execution, with the Dragon Soul denied. This is your ticket to how to win a game against Knights of Ishtar when they're winning early game, ladies and gentlemen. Take notes from Expo, take notes from Inai, and absolutely take notes from Maria's Dungeon. The engage, is it low enough? Okay,
Yeah,
3-man
it's gonna
taunt,
go
2-man
down
taunt
here.
actually.
The finance, yeah. It's
they're fine.
the problem that they're going to run into here now is they have no way of getting to the back line. They have no way of getting to Expo. Expo is just going to be free hitting in these fights. I don't know what they do about that. They don't necessarily have the personnel to do it. I'm not sure if Neferi is able to dive deep enough to do it alone, like or if they're able to get a good double jump from Gnar onto Expo. I don't really see how they're going to get there. So they're really struggling, and Expo is going to be a monster. That's why I was saying, like, they were winning this early game, but I don't think they're winning it hard enough to do it like, if the Smolder is freely farming, then you're not winning that early game. It's like a Nasus or like Vagar. Like, if they get through the early game freely farming, like, no problem at all, then you're not actually winning that early game.
Well, he's not an Nasus nor a Vagar. He's something way worse.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they're allowed to farm up with no pressure, then you're not actually winning that. Like that's not a one early game. Like it's like a Cassin. It's like all those champions that scale but have weak early games. You have to punish their weak early game. Smolder was fine the entire early game, not punished, not a single time. And I think that's going to end up being the death of KY here. I think this ends up being very tough now.
Oh, Call of the Force God.
And we're
Oh,
going to
they
see
got you.
the damage coming out.
One more stack and
And
he
there's going
died.
to be another kill for Expo. 4-0-1. Expo and Anai are two of the leaders in this league for damage per minute. And we're about to see it here. This looks like this is going to be Expo's game. And this is what I was
Is it going
talking
to be
about.
another game where Expo just, just chills for 10, 15, 20 minutes and then just runs the game down in 5 minutes and takes the game home? I guess it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
It looks like
ladies
it.
and gentlemen. Yeah. This guy keeps, does not ever cease to impress me, to be honest. A lot of damage, a lot of messy. The engage coming in from the Pantheon. A lot of engages are trying to turn the fight right now.
Ooh.
E9 going deep, but
Ooh.
Expo with the damage.
Oh man, Expo's online. That's all they needed. They just need to do the Braum passive. Tygoon is gonna be out of there. But man, oh man, Knights of Istar, what do? They're in a very tough spot now. They're up money, by the way, too. They're up money, but they're still in a tough spot. But they're in a tough spot because Expo's a problem. Expo's a problem, and they don't have a solution.
Their money is not gonna buy them direct engage on Expo, and even if it did, it's kind of too late at this point. 3 items with the fire cannon completed. Now they're trying to fire back KOI, but I guess just actions of I don't know what
Expo is 3K ahead of this Varus. Like I said, this was going to be a game of the ADCs, and we are seeing which ADC is coming up on top.
But to be fair, it's a Smolder and that's a Varus. 2 different breeds, so this is in order. It just
Varus has a tail. Like Varus isn't going to be weak per se, just not as strong as Expo.
Yeah, exactly. Compared to a Smolder Expo, Smolder.
Yep.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe if you had a Rel, a Leona, a Nautilus, maybe sure. Maybe he could have a chance.
Something to get
Smolder that can flap
Nocturne
away
or something.
Maybe that.
It feels like Neferi has like a mini Nocturne ulti though. We need the full thing. We need to be able to get to Smolder.
Exactly. And this is not happening. This guy is 250 CS, 5 kills, almost 4 items with the IE being completed next. And once IE is completed, it doesn't matter if you're a tank, Malphite, Ornn, Akali. It doesn't matter what your champion is. There's just going to be queued to the face so hard until you just die. And there is no counterplay to that. I love the fact that Ina is just chilling there. He's 0-0-2.
Yeah, Ina is actually feels like he can actually fight this actually.
Okay.
Oh.
That's right, but now
okay, and I is able to trade some damage, but it won't die, won't kill, but knows that you can do it. You can fight that just fine and heal it back up. Like, now it's like, I can fight this.
Yeah,
I won't die. I probably won't kill you either, but yeah. Forced death by video game to recall. Do they just try to go for objectives here? But they didn't clear the ward. They didn't clear the ward. They don't clear the ward, and Maria's Dungeon immediately go towards the Baron as they start up the Baron without clearing the ward. Now they're going to try to take this tower. Yeah, I don't know. You're going to need to see some incredible macro plays here from Knights of Istar. If you could, because you just can't straight up win the 5v5 anymore. You can't win the fights. You can't deal with the Expo. You're going to need some macro play to maybe get around the need to fight. They are able to get a knock up onto Expo. They're onto Expo now. Oh, but there's so much. Expo's forced to flash, and they just have so much peel. Expo, they aren't able to get onto him. They're still trying to get there, but they weren't able to do it. And that was perhaps one of their best attempts. There's a talk going to be on Expo, and Expo's going to kill down. He's going to take down 2 for Preto, and that's my video game. Go down. They tried. They got so close, but the peel from the rest of Maria's Dungeon didn't let it happen. Get off my boy. You're not going to get on Expo. Get off my dog, man. You can't touch Smolder.
It's just...
and they tried it, and that's going to be the Baron going over to Maria's Dungeon.
It's deja vu at this point. You see the game going slow, Maria's Dungeon, maybe on the back foot, or maybe just not there. But once something happens, a button clicks, and they're just running away with the game in matters of minutes. A game that a desperate attempt from Frostbite, and I can live to. Oh, they're gonna be taken by
Oh
the
my God,
rocket.
he got it! Woo!
You got it, but at what cost? You got it.
Oh my God!
For a second there, I thought the rocket build is gonna take it with that probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too. I thought the rocket belt took it. That would have been crazy. Oh, that would have been so tragic. All right, he said, "Got it, bozos." He was able to secure the soul. We'll see if the soul ends up being enough for them. They're now down 3K. They're down the Baron. It's a pretty desperate attempt here from Knights of Istar, but I respect the play from Frostbite for securing the soul. Like, you know what? If anything, I'm gonna get the soul. Frostbite soloed the dragon for soul, and Akali TP'd onto him and almost stole it away at the last second. But Frostbite died for it, but was able to secure it.
Well, you can, always learn to respect the man's attempts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I respect it.
yeah. But Expo, like speaking of attempts and items and everything, Expo has
Expo's
ID,
is a
half of the
Expo's a
Lord
monster.
Dominics. Yeah, but like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's not
Expo has
even
a lot of
fair
money
to play
here.
against this at this point. It feels like a
Yeah,
real life
300
dragon.
CS.
Yeah,
Yeah. Expo's oh my God, look at that damage onto just despite video game on the front line. Expo's an absolute monster right now.
dragon, if you say so. But yeah, understandable. I can see where you're coming from.
Mm, yeah,
At this point, there is nothing much to say. Or is just sit down, grab a slice of pizza, and watch Expo like dragon flap his wings around, and yeah,
oh
oh
my
my, see the
God,
damage, the
ow,
kill,
that's
epic
just
speed.
nasty. That's just nasty. That's disgusting damage. That just hurts. He can hit whoever he wants. He can just walk up and do it. Pew! Walk up and spit at them.
Exactly.
He's
Exactly.
spitting on him. It's crazy.
Yeah. With all due respect, though, but yeah, he is spitting on them. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is okay. This is absolutely healthy for the game, guys. If you're watching this, anyone watching this, this is healthy. There is nothing wrong with this. This is not broken at all. And
Yeah.
we would love to see more stuff like that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super. Okay.
This is tough. They haven't been able to get onto him at all. That's what they absolutely need to do, and they just can't. And look at these big boys staying next to X, but they're not gonna let it happen.
Sorry for not being all. Inai is first to burn his ulti. He's gonna try to fight back, but it's not gonna be enough. He's going low. Perfect execution still available. Is he gonna go for it? Oh, okay. He's playing with us. He's just toying with us. Inai's like trying to have a piece of the cake. Okay, so I'm sorry for not being 100% active. I got a phone call. Sorry, a phone call that I didn't or couldn't answer. So
It's
people
all
are
good.
texting me right now. Yeah. So I'm sorry.
No, it's not a problem. Life happens. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly. When you're 25, engaged and stuff. Though, yeah. It's
Okay, nice flexing on the rest of us.
it's not, dude. It's not. Trust me. When you're on the inside, it's not a flex. It's not. It's a chore.
He's 25, engaged, young, handsome,
Nah.
free, and stuff. Must be nice. I wish I was that right. Yeah, this man said, "When whenever you're 25 and engaged, people just be texting you. You just got so much things going on. So many people want to talk to you. Yeah, must be nice. 25 with love, right? Handsome, smart, and successful. Yeah, that's cool, man. Okay, now he's gonna go in here. And it's not going to do much. Tygoon's going to go Mega and probably just jump over this wall. Yep. Frostbite tries to do the juke. Not going to be able to do the juke. That's going to be an inhibitor destroyed. Inhibitor tower destroyed. And yeah, what does Knights of Istar do here, man? This is tough. This is rough.
Nothing. It's a time bomb. It's a ticking time bomb. It is what it is. I mean,
he said it's nothing. There's no way. Oh my God. Maybe not. Jesus. Oh, look at Tick of the Wing. Oh, that ulti just scorched earth. Oh my God.
he
And they
took
just got
a
to
wing
walk
out of
away.
that chicken with that cube.
Yeah,
he absolutely took a piece of that chicken.
What is smolder? Yeah, that's disgusting.
I am.
He's just not getting. He just walks up too. He's not getting punished because he just does so much damage. He just walks up and cues them. Walks up and cues them. It's disgusting. It's crazy. What are you doing, Roberto? You can't do that. Look at that. Look at that damage. You can't walk up in range. What are you doing, Frostbite? Why are you? What, you think you can walk up?
Can you blame a man for trying? Is the question.
And the thing is, Frostbite's not necessarily having a bad game. Like,
Oh,
he's
the Panty
farmed
ulti and another
stuff, but-
TP. They're
Oh,
trying to
they
put
gotta
the
run.
last nail in the
They gotta run.
coffin.
Oh, Frostbite. Oh, no. Here's the Galleon ultimate. Oh, can they get on to Anai's going to go to End Defiance is going to go down. Oh, but here is the Smolder damage. Where is Smolder? Find Smolder. They didn't find Smolder, and that's a triple kill for Expo. If they can't kill, and that's a double kill for Anai. So after going golden, and that's going to be a clean ace for Maria's dungeon. That should potentially be the game. Neferi is pinging that Smolder is alive 3 times. Yep, Smolder. What is that champion? 10-0-3. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they did not have a way to get onto Smolder, and that was their fatal mistake. They just don't have a way of dealing with this champion, and this champion just allowed. And as well, they didn't get him behind early game. Like, bot lane was just a farm fest, and you can't have that with the Smolder, especially someone that's farmed so well. Expo and Frostbite both farm so well, but like those are not equal scaling champions. If Expo leaves lane with nothing but farm, that's bad for you. And I feel like it's just unfortunate and end up in an impossible situation. Even though they were winning elsewhere, nah, you can't let Smolder just do that.
Here's the thing with skating champions. If they just existed, they do what we're seeing. Like in my opinion, this game, like props to Knights of Ishtar for not losing the game to this point. Like absolutely.
Yeah, but 37 minutes. I get to Smolder. I mean, that's tough. At that point, Smolder is, I mean, they're going to try to get, all right, what if we all get Smolder passive? If we all get Smolder passive, then maybe we can win a fight. Maybe we can win a fight. They're going for it. Here comes the engagement. Maria's done that. They don't want to let them have it. They're going to knock about the 2. Chin of the wing, and there is the ultimate from Galio. They really probably just want to try to secure the dragon. The dragon gets stolen in Defiance yet again with another steal. Oh my god, now all of Maria's dungeon have Smolder passive, and there's a double kill, a triple kill, a double kill for the Akali, a double kill for the Smolder, and that's just gonna be game and GG. And Defiance with yet another steal. How many times have we seen that man steal objectives on this channel? In this league? And yet again, Maria's dungeon is going to win a game off of a steal. That's going to be the next. That's going to be GG. If you've been here for a while.
It's a classic. Like nothing to be said. It is a classic. Expo or Enai, one of those people. Triple kills, he gets the mini Elder, and that's it. And other thing, aside from let's stop glazing the champion on its own. The guy got to his,
Oh wait, are we out right now?
In 21 minutes.
Okay, yeah, that was, whew. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Smolder goes 12-0-5, 17.0 KDA. Well, technically infinite. 62,000 damage dealt in the game in a 38-minute game. Calculate that with your quick math for DPM. That's incredible. That's over 1,000 DPM for sure. And the next most damage in the match was 28,000 by the Galio. That's more than double. Expo did more than double the second most amount of damage in the match, going absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And yeah, and Defiance also coming through there with the crucial steal at the Elder Dragon. And now everyone is Smolder, like Maria said. Yeah, everyone is Smolder.
Yeah, everyone is Smolder.
Absolutely insane. Maria's dungeon going to take game number 1. We're going to set up for game number 2. This is a fearless draft. So no more Smolder. Smolder is gone. Smolder, you don't have to worry about Smolder anymore. Smolder isn't real. Smolder can't hurt you anymore. And we'll see what happens as game number 2. We'll be back after a short break with the draft for game number 2. And here we go into game number 2 between Knights of Ishtar and Maria's Dungeon. Maria's Dungeon taking a pretty one-sided victory in game number 1, although it took 38 minutes from like minute 20. As soon as Expo on the as soon as Expo on the champion that I can't think of the name of Smolder, as soon as Expo on Smolder hit the 225 stacks at about 21 minutes, from then on, you could tell that the game was just over. Knights of Ishtar just had no response, no answer. They had no way to get to that back line, and Expo absolutely took over. We'll see what adjustment they make here in game number 2. Of course, this is a fearless draft, so all the champions that you saw in game number 1 are no longer available here for game number 2. That means that Smolder that I was just talking about, the Pantheon, the Ornn, the Braum, the Akali, what did I just hear? Okay, the Varus, the Milio, the Gnar, the Nefiri, the Galio, all of them are disabled here for game number 2. We're going to see the Mel picked up from Maria's Dungeon. I think we saw a Nye perform on that Mel in previous weeks, and B1 was picked up. Senna, Knights of Star picked up Senna with B1. So we're going to see the Mel in response. The bands, it looks like a lot of mid lane bands and some bands on ADC as well. Going to see the Twisted Fate, the Oriana, and the Corki band out by Knights of Ishtar, and the Tygoon Fiora band out. And then 2 ADCs targeting Frostbite with Jinx and Twitch brought out. And we're going to see Mel Skarner. Skarner has been a staple champion of Indefiance, so love to see the Skarner picked up there. And the Mel, interesting. I wonder if they are flexing that to also potentially be a mage bot lane. We have seen Maria's Dungeon do that. Whenever they're picking a mage earlier on in the draft, we'll see what actually happens with that. We're going to see the Trundle and the Senna picked up by Knights of Ishtar. I do not know exactly what they're going for here yet. We will see. Remember whenever Trundle support was a thing? Oh my god. Oh my god. We rarely see that champion. That champion is okay. Alrighty, we're going to see Annie picked up by Knights of Ishtar here. All right, love to see some Annie gameplay. I think we did see them play Annie at least one time this season. I think we have seen some Annie. I think it was by Knights of Ishtar, but are just a rare champion to see in competitive. So I'm here for it. I'm here to see what they can do with Annie. Such a short range mage, really burst heavy mage, but feels like, okay, so the Azir gets picked up. That makes me think that this Mel is definitely not what you expect. Not what you expect. The Bear. Yeah, that's true. The Bear, the Valley Bear is definitely Indefiance's probably most signature champion. Indefiance has a lot of jungle games played in BTL, to be fair. But I think the Bear probably just being one of his breakout champions back on Comfy, back in that 16-minute game that we have. We have one of those clips, one of our crazy moments in BTL history was that game on Volley Bear whenever Indefiance first was breaking into the league. So, yeah, probably Volley Bear, probably the most recognized, the most let's see, signature champion for Indefiance, I think, is the Volley Bear, but Skarner, I think, is definitely up there as well. You're going to see the Karma band away, the Mordekaiser and the Cho'Gath, so it's a focus on the top lane from Maria's Dungeon. Knights of Ishtar seems to be focusing on the potential supports. They're like, uh-oh, this is probably Mel bot lane. We're going to have to ban out things that we do not want Mel to play with. They're going to ban out the Rel as well. Oh, also, Akazai did have to leave, by the way. So it is, I think it was like 5 a.m. for him or something like that. So was not able to join us for the continued guest. But I will go ahead and take us on home. We'll see if Maria's Dungeon is able to take us home by winning game number 2. And the Bard. The Bard. I would say the Bard is a signature champion for Charybdis. I feel like we've seen a lot of Charybdis on Bard, some great plays on Bard from Charybdis. And so we'll see. I think one of my favorite clips is like the triple teleport into the base to end the game by Maria's Dungeon a few seasons back. And I think Bard was a large part of preventing the ports, stopping the ports from stopping the enemy teams to be able to recall and defend their base. So love to see the Bard. I also love Bard in general. Probably my favorite support. I think you just always have fun. And we have a missed pick here. The missed pick is supposed to be Ashe. Okay. It's supposed to be Ashe. We'll see what they pick here with B5. The Mick Piss is Ashe, so they are still choosing here. And it's going to be the Aatrox. All right. So is that Ashe Senna bot lane? Aatrox top, Trundle jungle, Annie mid? Who knows what they are doing? We also saw KOI play like a crazy lineup the other day where they had people playing in all sorts of different types of crazy roles. So we'll see what happens. Let's see, we should be ready. Oh my god. I was looking down for some responses to some messages, and I did not see the Garen picked up here. R5 for Maria's Dungeon. Garen in the top lane to facing up against the Aatrox. We'll see how that matchup goes for McCullough. McCullough versus Tygoon. Garen and Aatrox. Very interesting. There's a lot of interesting champions here that I just don't see too terribly often. Senna, we haven't seen Senna in a bit. Senna was popular for a bit. I think we've seen Senna at least one time this season, but Senna going to the bot lane as the main ADC, it looks like. We'll see where the rest of the champions are going. Actually, no, wait, no. Ashes, I forget. Ashes picked. So Ash, Senna bot lane, I'd imagine. We're going to have Aatrox up in the top lane, Trundle in the jungle. So yeah, Aatrox versus Garen top. Of course, we're going to have Skarner jungle for Maria's Dungeon. And this should be, yeah, we're going to have Trundle in the jungle, I'm imagining. Maybe, okay. That's like, or I could just be wrong. We should have Annie mid here. All right, into the Azir. I feel like Annie would hate this. I feel like Annie mid is played into low range matchups, and I feel like Azir doesn't have a lot of range, but has more range than Annie. And so you're gonna have to like. It sucks whenever Annie's in a matchup where she pretty much has to flash in order to get into range of doing anything. We'll see if they can successfully do that. But I don't love the Annie pick here. I don't see what Annie's gonna be able to do here. I don't see who Annie's gonna be able to blow up. Because I feel like Annie's like a burst made, so you have to have that's quick enough to blow up. So it's going to be the Azir or the Mel. I don't think either of those really necessarily blow up very well. The damage composition on the side of Maria's Dungeon is interesting. I guess maybe you could do full AD Garen. Other than that, you have a lot of magic damage over there. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. And Ashe and Senna in the bot lane, and it's actually Ashe support. Is it Ashe support? Ashe support? Senna ADC or starving Senna? Who knows? Who knows what they're doing? Who knows? They're experimenting with something here. Let's see if it can get them the victory here in game number 2. Wait, is Mrs. Chim Chim in Streaming University? I cannot at all see who's in Streaming University. Is there a list of who's in Streaming University? Because I see Mrs. Chim Chim is streaming it. Huh, maybe she got it. It looks like she did. Anyways, I'm sorry, I got distracted. But we have about 2 minutes for the spectator lay before we load into game number 2 between Maria's Dungeon and Knights of Ishtar. We will hit you guys with the 1-minute ad break, and we'll be right back after the short break. And here we go. Game number 2 between Maria's Dungeon and Knights of Ishtar. Maria's Dungeon taking the victory in game number 1. Now, Knights of Ishtar here on the blue side, Maria's Dungeon now on the red side. And looks like we're not going to get any shenanigans here at level 1. We're just going to get a standard 5-point start. Neither team super confident in their level 1 to kind of force the issue. We'll see what happens here. For me, I'm looking at this mid lane matchup. I feel like Expo and Anai have been taking turns carrying games, and I feel like this is potentially Anai's game to carry after an incredible game 1 from Expo. We'll see, because it just feels like Annie can't pressure Anai. I just don't really see it happening. I mean, maybe I feel like Annie needs to use Flash to be able to get anything, and then I could just trade Flash. So I just feel like Anai has a free lane here, and I feel like that's just not what you want to see. We can see if Roberto can make something happen, make something shake, perhaps really change that. And in the bot lane, I mean, Frostbite, I don't know what they're doing here, fasting set or something like that. It looks like the Senna is farming, and the Ashe picks up the support item. So yeah, see, that's exactly what I expect to happen in this mid lane. Just a whole bunch of Anai just pushing, like poking out Annie. And I don't see how they're gonna make progress there. And yeah, we'll see if something happens in the bot lane. I expect Charybdis to be, playing Bard. If you're playing Bard, I expect it to be all over the map. And which makes me really fear for Annie's life, honestly. I feel like it's gonna be an accelerated Azir. We'll see what happens top lane. They just kind of had a brawl last game, but nothing too terribly crazy. It's probably gonna be something similar here. And we can already see that Anai does just have the advantage. It's gonna have the push advantage, and it's just going to have the range advantage. Annie being picked up here, just whew. Maybe they thought it was going to be Annie into Expo. Into Mel. See, this just Jesus Christ, man. Jesus. How does Annie play this lane? And bot lane should be fine both ways. I don't know, maybe Tygoon goes crazy up here in the top lane. Okay. There it is. The forward, trade back and forth. Nothing too terribly crazy happening. This is a good trade from the Garen. There's another good trade from Garen. It's getting a lot of damage. There's the Ignite going down. Tygoon potentially in trouble. In Defiance is here. Flash has already been used. Ooh, the slide from Tygoon. Is it going to be enough? And there's a flash forward from Defiance. It's going to be first blood. Going over to Maria's Dungeon. And that's just no good. That's just no good. You don't want to see that, especially whenever you already have a super difficult mid lane. Oh my god. This lane seems impossible. Why did you pick yourself Annie here? What is the plot? What's the idea? All right, let me see it. There is the stun onto Anai, and he just shuffles away. And he waddles away to the very next day. Yeah, what are you doing here? What's the plot? And there is In Defiance. You're in my kingdom now. In Defiance for Puerto. Gonna slap each other a little bit of slap boxing. But I think Maria's are just comfortable here. And ooh, that could be a lot of damage. And then Frostbite is in fact going to go down. The double snare combination in the bot lane from the Mel and the Bard, and that's gonna be another kill going over to Maria's Dungeon. Maria's Dungeon winning this early game already. I don't know. I'm just sitting here thinking, what can they do about any of this? It just seems rough, buddy. This is really satisfying watching just Aatrox farm these on the tower. That was cool. Oh no, not the Garen Classic. No! And here comes the ultimate. No! He just walks up to the bush and dies. Oh no, Tygoon. And it's going to be a 3-0 start for Maria's Dungeon. And that doesn't bode well. The farming, the scaling's, I think, already in favor of Maria's Dungeon. And Nai potentially walking into a dangerous position. There is the ultimate. There is just the shuffle away, and they just cannot lock down a Nai. And Roberto now potentially in trouble. Is low. Is gonna walk out of there, and then my video game is walking up into Frostbite is here as well. They're gonna try to get Frostbite. Charybdis. Charybdis is gonna flash away. And Roberto and this video game are super low here. They can't walk up into Expo. And no one from Maria's Dungeon is going to die. And oh, that's my video game is playing a dangerous game here in the mid lane. And that's going to be the first dragon. Looks like it's going to go over to Maria's Dungeon. Oh, this one's tough. Okay, but Brett's up here at the top lane potentially, and that's going to be a flash from the Garen, and Garen should be fine. Yeah, I just don't know what they're trying to do here with this composition, man. This draft just seems so lost all over the place from Istar. I'm just like, what is the idea? Like, they can't gank top. They don't have enough CC in their top laner between in the top duo between Aatrox and oh no. And there's gonna be Mel doing Mel things, reflecting the snare back onto Frostbite. Whew. And Expo here with a 2-wave advantage in the bot lane on Mel. And Bard able to freely roam. Gonna looking for all the objectives. The ultimate is not going to land, I don't think. And Frostbite just in trouble here underneath this tower. Oh my goodness. Chicken Wing is going to walk into a very heavily warded bush, and that's going to be a dead Ashe. Ashe is gone. Ashe is dead. And there's going to be the barrier pot from Frostbite. Yeah, just struggling under here underneath the tower. Going to go down nearly 20 CS. He's down 20 CS. And yeah, Annie here is just struggling and just short range. And oh man, this is tough, man. What are you doing? Look. Wow, and I just does not care about that stun. And Annie just has no mana. This is whew. Oh, Ishtar. Oh, and Tygoon gonna be forced to flash, but there's the ultimate, and there's the ultimate from Skarner, and then the ultimate by Garrett, and that's a dead Tygoon. 5-0 in favor of Maria's Dungeon. This game is looking like a shellacking right now. Up 3K. Speaking of a shellacking, is the OKC game done? Last I saw, Minnesota was up 30 at the half. Certainly that didn't continue, right? Minnesota is up 38 in the with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. What in the world is Anthony Edwards doing to him? Oh my god. Oh, and there's the ultimate. And that's a dead Annie underneath the tower. Oh my goodness, Knights of Ishtar. Maria's Dungeon is just rolling on him right now. Absolutely rolling. Anthony Edwards is doing it. He's 5 for 7 from 3, 11 for 15. Yeah, 28 points. Yeah, Anthony Edwards, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy, this is not a good game for OKC, and it is not a good game for Knights of Ishtar. Who's playing off stream? Is the team playing off stream right now? I don't think so. I was talking about an NBA game. We should have any off stream games going on right now. Tomorrow at 6 we will, because Mingos and Glacial Golems are playing tomorrow at 6, which is when the Doctors and DOV Tigers play. And the Doctors and DOV Tigers will be streamed. Here we go. And they're able to get the Dragon. They steal the Hextech Drake. So score 1 for KOI. Score like 10 for Maria's Dungeon, but there's a positive thing happening there for KOI. Oh, I'm about to say, please tell me Crib doesn't just casually take that camp away from him. That'd be crazy. Oh, okay, you troll. Try my best. KOI, Star could have been in bed early instead of the client player early at 7. Oh, man. It looks like Star may still be looking for an early bedtime. Hey, I have a Minecraft realm to get back to. I got some crafting to get back to. I don't mind. I haven't really eaten yet. So, you know, if we doing it, if this is what we're doing, we're just making sure we got an early night, fine. By all means. That's okay with me. Ishtar, down 5K here at 13 minutes. Modded? No, it's not modded. It's just a vanilla server. Probably jinxed it now. You think so? I'm over here stretching. Like, okay. Looks like we got ourselves a simple little game here. I could probably get up and get myself an ice cream sandwich and I'd be chilling. Well, you think anything exciting is going to happen? Oh, we got Perpetua up in the top lane. And there is the Ignite. And Tiger's going to go down to the Ignite, and McCullough's going to flash away. And now here in the bot lane, Frostbite is going to go down. Expo is now on a rampage. It is 10-1 in favor of Maria's Dungeon. McCullough and Expo both getting a kill. McCullough is back up here. Now, and here comes In Defiance. And oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, Berbreta's going to go down as well. And here comes Maria's Dungeon. Now they're taking the top plate tower. Oh, no, stop it. Oh, God, he's already dead. Nothing a rain dance can fake. It's okay. Are you going to rain dance for them, Maria? or do they have to rain dance? I thought you did the rain dances. Woo. See, Maria is actually from Africa, so Maria can actually do a rain dance. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go grab an ice cream sandwich and I'll be right back. We'll see what happens. Grab us one too. Sammy's. Hey, anything happen? Knights of Vistar member is getting pressured. Okay, so nothing new. Oh, Death by Video Game is getting engaged on by a Nai. There's the Nai ulti. There's the streamer shuffle. The video game is walking away. They're on direction. Your base is not that direction. Okay, okay, a good pillar. Mikola is going to go on to Tygoon instead. Mikola potentially biting off more than he could chew. Potentially going down here. Mikola's definitely going to go down here. Somebody kill going over to Tygoon. And, oh, Anai is going to get low down here too. Okay. All right, S-Tar. Yeah. They got hands for real. There's 6 of us. You know what? Just bring us the whole box. Now I'm Gucci. These are for me. Well, and there's that kill onto the Annie, but S-Star was able to get a tower up in the top lane. That is an objective bounty. They're down 7k here. They're going to get the flash out from the Ashe. And Makolo is looking for Roberto, and that was 2 people up there, 1v2. Certainly Makolo doesn't kill this Tygoon here now. Certainly not. Yeah, no. Stop that silliness. No. Okay. Oh my god, Tygoon, no. Oh no. Yeah, he has to run. Oh, chicken the wing. I don't think you want to be there. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god, look at that damage. Oh no. What is going on here? Oh god. Okay. And there's the Infernal Drake. You guys gonna get killed by Indefiance. This is an infernal soul. That's not what you want to see as a team that's behind. You don't want to see the team that's ahead getting infernal soul. That's rough, buddy. Smacking on ice cream Sammy's. My bad. Makolo getting engaged on by 2. There's a flash forward from Roberto. They are determined to kill this Garen. And the Garen will go down. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Maria's Dungeon has a different objective in mind than the Garen. Hey, look, Ash is going to see that they are in fact doing the Otacon, and there's nothing they can do about it. Okay, and they're going to transition that into bot lane. Meanwhile, Frostbite, they are looking to get some towers. So, hey, nice to start grabbing some towers. Up 7k here. There's the ultimate onto Anai. And Annie is in a lot of potential trouble here. And Annie's going to get... Ooh, yeah. Yeah, going to get killed. And there's the Arise. Expo is back to wave clear. And there is another slam here from Maria's Dungeon. They're going to do a lot of damage to that bot lane inhibitor tower. And keep the wave pushed. And hey, that's a tower out of tower in the mid lane. They're able to just swap out. Now they're looking for Expo, Tygoon, and Roberto. Here's a teleport coming in. Expo is going doing as much damage as possible. Now here comes Anai looking for two, but Anai potentially in trouble actually as Frostbite is here. Actually, no. There are two here as well. Garrett is here as well. This could be trouble for Knights of Istar. There's a teleport coming in. Will the teleport get here in time? And that is a rampage for those two. And Death by Video Game is now here. The Annie is here. The Ass is here. The 3v3. It's not going to be a 3v3 though, because here comes the ultimate from Bard. Bard has arrived, and Tygoon is going to be in some trouble. Tygoon is going to be down. That's a rampage for Charybdis. Now we're going to go on Chicken the Wing. Chicken Wing is in the alcove. Chicken Wing is going to take the boss out of the alcove, but it's still going to go down. And Death by Video Game is going to get the kill onto Bard. So yeah, Annie doing some things. Hey, Annie getting to do some burst damage here. But it's going to walk away. But overall, that's going to still be advantage Maria's Dungeon. This is rough. And Roberto looking for an eye looking to try and get over the wall here. Is definitely taking some damage. And oh yeah, they are gonna be able to take down an eye. And that's gonna be something. Go over to Frostbite. Hey, if they keep getting caught out like this, keep getting one kill here or there. Oh my god, Roberto's gone. Roberto's gone. It's gonna be a killing spree for Defiance. Okay, they got one, they lost one, but overall trades are gonna be in favor of the team that's behind. So if you're Ishtar, I mean, that didn't necessarily have to be a trade. It was like one pick out and then you got caught out. So it wasn't necessarily a trade per se, but you kind of take that, I guess. There is going to be a dragon starting here in 10 seconds. I imagine that's going to be going over to Maria's Dungeon. They are better positioned for it. They are looking for the Garen, though. Garen could be going down. It's going to be a lot of damage coming out from Tibbers. That is going to be a kill going over to the Annie. And the dragon gets started up, so they are able to catch somebody out. If they can just keep getting picks, they can potentially try to claw their way back. If anything, that was just up to Maria's Dungeon over aggression to kind of let that happen. We'll see if they continue to let that happen. It's going to be the Inferno Drake that puts them on soul point. Now, here's the push down the mid lane for Knights of Istar. Knights of Istar just got to push down Azir's tower here. Oh my god. The Bard ulti onto 4 and the Sarima shuffle onto Tygoon. And it is not a real tower. The tower is going to go down, but Expo does arrive and take down Aatrox. Now they're on the run. Frostbite is out of there, and he's going to put her Baron there to buy some time, and it should be able to get out. Okay. 85,000. Chicken the Wing is dead. Definitely dead. It's going to go down to Bard. And here comes Maria's dungeon. See the wave is back there. Maybe they don't immediately push on this tower, but meanwhile, Garrett is pushing bot lane. They have to be aware of that. And oh my god, a lot of damage coming out from Bard. And death by a video game is going to be in trouble. Is able to flash over the wall. And here comes the rest of them. There's the ultimate from In Defiance, and it is going to be enough to take down Annie. Annie is dead. However, Crypt is potentially dead behind the tower here. Is dead behind the tower. Tygoon is up there. Gonna be taking a lot of damage. Also taking a lot of damage though. And is Maria's Dungeon the ones on the run? And they are on the one, but oh my god, Tygoon's going to go down to Expo, and they may be able to kite this out. Anai is going to go down eventually. There's the Ash Arrow down the middle. Oh my god! Meanwhile, in their base, they're losing the Nexus Towers. Oh my god, somebody stop Garen! Somebody stop Garen! He's just taking the Nexus Towers! Mikala, stop it! It's just a support Ash, he can't do it alone. Oh my god! Oh my god, look at this Garen! He's just taking the Nexus! What in the world? What happened down here? Mikala's gonna try to run out of this, walk out of this. Oh, actually gonna turn around. It's going to go onto Frostbite. There's the barrier. It's not gonna be able to do it. Okay. But my goodness, they just lost their Nexus Towers. I was thinking like, okay, they're kind of doing well up here, but meanwhile, that Garen that I mentioned earlier, I guess no one else thought like, hey, what about Garen? Man, it looks like they were making strides up here in the top lane with that fight, but they were not. And for Prezzo is going to be in trouble, is going to go down. That's a rampage for Defiance, 4-0-8. And onto oh my god, that's so much damage. Frostbite's gone. Oh my god. This Garen is a beast, an animal. And Chicken the Wing is going to go down as well. Oh. Oh, KOI. This is a tough one. Yeah, the Nexus is open. Looks, I think we are trying to go to bed. It is going to be the Nexus Tower, some more kills, and ace, and it is going to be GG. Game number 2 is going to go to Maria's Dungeon. Maria's Dungeon ends the season, I think 7-2. And a chance for the number 1 seed. Is that confirmed number 1 seed? I'm not exactly sure, but that is definitely the first step. And I believe that means that they are avoiding the gauntlet guaranteed, because the 4th place team only has 5 wins right now, so they cannot reach 7, so they're going to be at least top 3, and Maria's Dungeon secures semifinals. And the most damage in that game is going to be dealt by the Garen. Yeah, the Garen went absolutely crazy. 7, 5, and 6 doing 27,000 damage. You saw what that Garen was doing in that game. Absolutely disgusting. The most amount of damage is going to be done by the Azir on that, by Anai on that Azir. Of course, just poking at Annie over and over again. You would Mike or Chase, 100%. Mike or Chase. Charybdis or Mikolo. And all right, yeah, we can grab somebody. Let's grab Charybdis. For the Bart, let's see, who did Charybdis play game 1? The Braum and versus the Ornn. Oh, you guys, the rest of them moved. The Ornn or the Braum. Mike or Chase? You think I that Chase Bard literally 1v9 in the jungle. All right, yeah, Bard did go crazy. I was looking back at game two. I was like, did Braum go crazy or Expo go crazy? But I guess if your Braum goes crazy, and if your ADC goes crazy, then you can give the thing. So we're gonna go ahead. Yeah, I'll grab Chase. Where is it? Yeah, Mr. Charybdis.
Yo.
Yo, what's good? We're going to give the MVP to you mostly because of in defiance of the chat, but also a recognition that that Bard did go crazy, go brazy. Whenever the Bard got chosen, I did say that I would consider this to be a signature champion for Charybdis. I think we've seen lots of Bard gameplay from you in the past. Also, specifically, I'm thinking about the clip of the 3-man teleporting to the base, and I feel like you were on Bard that game, and I feel like Bard was influential to making sure that no one was able to back and defend from that. So that's when I think of Bard, I'm like, I think Charybdis has played probably the most Bard in BTL that I've seen recently. And seeing so I never win MVP Makolo. And yeah, that was just a solid 2-0 for you guys, KOI, against KOI. KOI, what did you guys, I don't know, what you guys think of KOI's draft in game number 2?
What did I think? Honestly, I don't think their bot lane was a great matchup.
Yeah.
And then looking at top, they got to cook a little bit more in the gauntlet. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. To me, I felt like it was losing all over the spot, all over the place. I didn't understand Annie at all when I saw the Annie. It's like, what's this supposed to do?
I think Annie's fine. I don't think they should play Ashe support. I feel like Ashe support is pretty hard.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's to be fair, it's a low point player as well, so that's just hard to pull off.
Yeah. See, 1, 2. I think they blinded Annie. You responded with the Azir, and I feel like Azir was just so incredibly comfortable in that matchup. It just felt like from level 1, like I don't know Annie ever walks up here in CSs ever without getting harassed, and yeah, that was super tough. And then Bard, they weren't able to necessarily punish against a Bard. I feel like if you're up against a Bard, you can't if Mel could sit in lane by herself and be fine, then you got a problem because then Bard is allowed to be everywhere. And if Bard is allowed to be everywhere, then it's like you have 2 junglers and it's really, really tough. And you guys just absolutely rolled over that.
I honestly forgot I was supposed to lane that game, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Boys, you just leave. It's like, yeah, we'll just do all this other stuff, and you guys just complete roll. And in game number 1, you guys, that was a much closer game. Knights of Istar did get out to a lead early on in terms of just like getting ganks everywhere, and I think getting the first 3 kills on the board and stuff like that. But it seems like your guys' strategy, at least in bot lane, was us. If Expo can just farm as fast as possible to 225 stacks, we just win this game. Was that like kind of the idea from the beginning?
Yeah, we were planning on scaling. I think we had some mixed decisions throughout the game, which kind of caused it to look a little bit closer. But I think once we knew we hit 225 around like the Otacon spawning, we knew we'd win. So we just made some interesting plays in the beginning, but we weren't really too worried about it.
I gotcha. Yeah, you guys definitely had the scaling on your side. Whenever I think there was like 1 Q or something from Expo that at like around 21 minutes that landed on Barris, and I saw that the passive execute there, and I was like, oh my god, oh no. At that point, I was like, wait, I think this game's over. Because as we saw, you guys had the peel, like they could not get to Expo, they couldn't touch them, and at some point it was like, with Braum and Orin there, it's like you guys, and Pantheon, you guys, they actually had one fight where I thought that they got into Expo, like, they had a good Galio like flank, and they had like Nefiri jump in. It's like, do they have a chance? And you guys just kited it out, and Expo still lived, and then at some point was doing disgusting amounts of damage. I thought that champion was nerfed. Smolder looked disgusting in game number 1.
They left him in lane. I mean, you wouldn't have seen it because Expo went lethal tempo and was absolutely trolling, and also they upgraded his rapid fire, so he was trying his best to lose the game. Honestly,
I see.
But yeah, it's a strong character.
Yeah. Seems like it. With that, you guys go 7-2, and that means that you guys are guaranteed to be a top 3 spot. I'm not sure if you're guaranteed 1 seed yet because Glycergons and Cat Cowboys can both also be 7-2, and I'm not sure if you guys have the tie breaks there. I don't think you.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think Cat Cowboys and Glycergons were your losses. Yeah. So if they end up 7-2, you guys would. If they both end up 7-2, you guys would be 3rd seed just like you currently are when you're both 6-2. But they potentially, let's see, Glycergon's going up against Mingos. Mingos are just an all over the place teams. I feel like you just never count them out. They could potentially take that game. And then Cat Cowboys are up against DPS, and DPS has been on fire recently. I think DPS, who is currently the 4th seed, they definitely want to win that game. So Cat Cowboys have a difficult game ahead of them, and I think so do Glacier Golem. So you guys could end up with the 1st seed if things, depending on how things shake out. People keep asking me, hey, if we win this game, are we top 3 seeds? I have no idea. There's all these different things that could happen. So it's really hard to say, but Maria's Dungeon, and we know for a fact Maria's Dungeon is going to be in semifinals, and they're going to be skipping the gauntlet. So congratulations to you guys. I'm going to guess that's what you guys are hoping for. And what you were,
just skipping the gauntlet's always a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't have to worry about it, and just get into the best of 5 series. Best of 5. Yeah, that's also fair. Yeah, get into the best of 5 series, and yeah. So congratulations to Maria's Dungeon. Thank you for chasing. We were going to talk to Maria's asking to talk to the captains. I feel like we could try to do that next season. I feel like a lot of teams after that game, I don't necessarily know if I want to try to force anybody to talk after a difficult game like that. So usually maybe at the gauntlet, that usually before gauntlet, something like that, we can kind of talk to teams, or like maybe exit interview, stuff like that. I'll try to kind of talk to a team, and if it's their last match, but every team is still in it because we have the gauntlet. So no team is completely done for the split yet. We're looking at some of the top seeds right here, and then we will see what happens as the gauntlet starts next Thursday. Now, we still have some more matches before that. Like I just said, the matches that are happening that will be very crucial for the seeding. We still have DOV Tiger with the Doctor is not as crucial for a lot of the standing near the top, but John Paul Jorkers with the Pat and the Natpats. If Pat and the Natpats pull off a upset there, which I think they're very capable of, and beat JPJ, then that can mess with standings. And of course, we have Mingo versus Glacier Golems happening tomorrow at 6, and then we have Cat Cowboys versus DPS happening on Thursday before at the same time with the Gauntlet. Now, the Gauntlet starts on Thursday, and I won't be here. I'm going to be at DreamCon, so I'm going to be here literally the entire Gauntlet weekend, and I'm depending on everyone, all of the staff, all of the streamers, all of the casters, all of the community. I trust that you guys all know what to do if you've been here before, and we can have Gauntlet go completely smooth without me having to check my phone every 5 seconds while I'm in Houston. So hopefully that goes fine. I believe in all you guys, and we're going to look for... I'm going to host Mrs. Chim Chim because I think she's in Kai-Sinet's Streamer University. Someone that used to help out here in BTL before. We hosted a 1v1 tournament with her back in the day, before she got all... Now she averages 200 viewers a stream, and she's all Hollywood, so she doesn't really recognize us these days. But we did used to do some collaboration work with Mrs. Chim Chim back in the day, like a few years ago. Now she is super successful, and I love it and stuff. So go check out Mrs. Chim Chim and whatever she is doing with Streamer University. I don't know what it is at all. So I'm just gonna throw you all over there because I'm curious. And we will be back live tomorrow at I think it's 6. So thank you, Charybdis. Chase, I'm so glad I know how to say your name now, by the way, your username. And I didn't know how to say it until I watched the slime anime. Which you said is not where you got it from. You knew it from way before that. It was a Eldritch or whatever.
I was mad they made it like a it's like a whirlpool, but they made it like a flying ugly dragon.
Yeah, some type of fish monster thing. Yeah, it was. It went down pretty easily too. So yeah, but yeah, we're gonna do the raid out to Mrs. Chim Chim, and we will see you guys when we're next live. Thank you to Chase for joining us. Thank you for Shivam for the hosting. Thank you for Akazai earlier for doing some color casting. Gamer 1 had to go to sleep because it was like 5 a.m. for him, and we will see you guys when we're next live. Peace out.